dance, dance flow silly. Yeah, the ladies gon' go, yeah, the fellas in the back. Taking the game's mine. Yeah, I witness the change, it's my time.
So today we're gonna be talking about rapper V.I.C. What up guys, Ali here and welcome to Ali Talks Music. Add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music as well. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the video. V.I.C. was born around 1987, smack dab in the middle of the Big Apple, New York City. As a kid, V.I.C. soaked in all the city had to offer, with its round-the-clock buzz and an amazing mix of music bouncing off every corner. But the big turning point in his life, that happened when he packed his bags and moved down to College Park, Georgia. If New York got the ball rolling, College Park was the place that truly got him into the groove. The city was a music mecca, with a bunch of musicians calling it home. Being in College Park, surrounded by all that southern charm and the unique cocktail of musical styles, well, it did wonders for V.I.C.'s creativity. During these years, V.I. began to play around with his talents and began to grow as an artist. Now, after getting inspired by the South, V.I.C. had to show and prove and drop some music. So, in 2008, V.I.C. really burst onto the scene. He dropped his debut single Get Silly. And boy did it make some noise. This funky, fun tune with its bouncy beat and playful lyrics got people dancing in no time. It was a hit. It climbed up all the way to number 29 on the Billboard Hot 100, giving V.I.C. a taste of fame. The song didn't take itself too seriously and was made specifically for the clubs. And after that song dropped, Get Silly was born. Get Silly was not just a one-man show. V.I.C. teamed up with Soulja Boy and Mr. College Park on this one. Now you can't talk about Get Silly without talking about Soulja Boy. The man was on fire around that time. His own track, Crank That Soulja Boy, sold about 3.9 million copies around 2007. That made it the third highest selling song download since they began keeping track around 2003.
When I do that, Soulja Boy, I lean to the left, then crank that thing now.
Then Soulja Boy dropped his debut album, Soulja Boy Tell 'Em, and the sales were impressive as well. The guy was not just selling singles, he was moving albums too. Soulja Boy's influence on V.I.C. was huge. His knack for creating tunes that got people dancing was just what V.I.C. needed to get his music noticed. And noticed it was. Get Silly was more than just a hit song. It became something of a cultural phenomenon. Whether you were at a party, in a club, or just chilling with the radio on, Get Silly was probably playing. V.I.C. arrived and he was not going anywhere. Now the song was not a massive hit everywhere, but in places like Atlanta, V.I.C.'s influence was truly felt. After Get Silly, all eyes were on V.I.C. People were waiting to see what he would do next. He had some very big shoes to fill, but at the time, he was up for the challenge. So, with the spotlight on him, V.I.C. was all set to hit the stage for the next act in his musical journey. Still buzzing off the success of Get Silly, V.I.C. decided to kick things up a notch. Around 2008, he dropped his debut album, Beast. Now, this was a big deal. It wasn't just about cranking out more hits. This was about stepping up from a one-hit wonder to a full-on musician, complete with an album showcasing his range and storytelling. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Beast wasn't exactly a chart buster. The public had mixed feelings about this project. Some only saw V.I.C. as the man who made Get Silly, ranking V.I. as a one-hit wonder, while others thought V.I.C. had a lot to offer. Putting together Beast was an adventure for V.I.C. Every track was a piece of the V.I.C. puzzle coming together to paint a picture of him as an artist. It was his journey, his influences, his dreams, all wrapped up in one album. But V.I.C. was not done making waves. After Beast, he dropped his second single, Wobble.
Taking the game's mine. Yeah, I witness the change, it's my time.
The song came out around 2008 and was another song for people to dance to. Now, even though Wobble grew in popularity over time, even inspiring at dance, Wobble was a bit of a sleeper hit. Even though it came out around 2008, it only began climbing up the charts around 2011, almost 3 years after its release, and hitting number 94 on the Hot 100 around 2012. So, in between that time, V.I.C was perceived as a one-hit wonder. During this time, he dropped a single called Say Bow, featuring Jay Futuristic.
We don't dance no more, how we do it? Bow, bow. We don't love them, how we do it?
He also dropped about 4 mixtapes. However, all of these musical drops were not enough to maintain his spotlight. But around 2012, things changed. Around that year, he dropped a single called Twerk It.
In the club, NBA with it. 512, chicks shout it, bang with it.
Tapping into the twerking trend that was sweeping across the music and dance scene. The single, with its catchy beats and timely theme, seemed to signal a potential comeback for V.I.C. It was a moment ripe with promise, a chance for V.I.C to reclaim his place in the music industry. However, despite the initial buzz surrounding the song, V.I.C did not capitalize off its success. So, what everyone thought to be a V.I.C revival turned out to be another roller coaster ride on his musical journey. Highs, lows, and everything in between. After this, V.I.C faded away for a number of years. Then he made a resurgence around 2020. During this time, V.I.C's fame began to grow on TikTok. The app, notorious for churning out viral dance trends, began a Wobble revival. The song, over 10 years old, was suddenly back under the disco lights, reaching a whole new audience of earbuds. Thanks to the Wobble Dance Challenge on TikTok, the song got a fresh lease on life. The platform was swarming with people busting a move to Wobble, sending its popularity soaring. The great thing is, even though it was a tune from a different era, it still had the magic to hook a new generation of listeners. For a while, this gave V.I.C a new fan base. However, V.I.C once again did not capitalize off this hit. So, here comes the tricky part. What went wrong? V.I.C's musical journey is a story of early potential that did not quite translate into long-term success. One of the main reasons could be his attempt to ride the wave of Soulja Boy's simplistic sound. While imitating the big guys can sometimes pay off, it's usually the pioneers who have the biggest success. Soulja Boy was a game changer here, and V.I.C's Get Silly sounded a lot like Soulja Boy's Crank That. This might have stamped him as a copycat rather than a trendsetter. Another roadblock to V.I.C's path to stardom in music could have been his lyrics. Sure, they were catchy and perfect for the club, but they lacked depth. They did not start conversations or leave a lasting impact. This lack of meaningful lyrics might have painted him as a rapper who is only catering to the club-going crowd. Additionally, V.I.C did not do many features. Collabs are a great way to reach new fans and add some new flavor to an artist's sound. But V.I.C refrained from doing this, limiting his exposure and ability to grow a fan base. Plus, the momentum from his early hits, Get Silly and Wobble, was not carried forward. His later releases could not match or outdo the success of these tracks, which might have led to a dip in his popularity. Lastly, the lukewarm response to his debut album Beast probably did not help him either. The album peaked at number 73 on the Billboard 200, and back then if a rapper was doing those kind of numbers, they were clearly flopping. So in essence, V.I.C's rollercoaster ride in the music industry is quite an interesting one, peppered with early victories, a downhill phase, and a slight comeback. Sure, his career was not marked by back-to-back hits, but he certainly left a mark on the music world. With hits like Get Silly and Wobble, V.I.C showed that he had the potential to drop club bangers. But let's be real, V.I.C's time in the spotlight did not last forever. After dropping those 2 bangers, he sort of faded into the background. Sure, Wobble had a bit of a comeback on TikTok, but V.I.C could not really milk this newfound popularity to the max. Over time, his music releases have been few and far between, with his last promoted track dating back to around 2015. Fast forward to his most recent song, Feel the Same, which came out this year. It didn't get a big marketing push, hinting that V.I.C might be shifting his game plan or focus. Despite only having a couple of songs that people know, V.I.C gets about 850,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. And his most listened to songs are Wobble, Get Silly, Twerk It, Wobble Again, and Riding. That's it from me, it's your boy Ali. What happened to V.I.C in your opinion? Let me know down below. Also add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. Till next time, peace.